Hey everybody, it's Chris over at Dixieland Farm, and today I am going to be doing a flight in X-Plane. Let's pull up real quick what we're doing. Oh, also, by the way, it's raining outside, and not only is it raining outside, it is like right there at just terrible weather. It's 36 degrees Fahrenheit, so we'll say 1 or 2 degrees Celsius, and big killer for small general aviation planes is ice. Just not equipped to deal with ice. So the plane that I'm flying has got some de-icing material. Oh, you can hear that we are on here. Oof, look at it. Just terrible out there, right? Oh, let's go ahead and just pause this real quick. So we are leaving in very marginal conditions here at my local airport of Statesville, North Carolina. So how are we going to deal with ice? I don't know. That's why I'm doing this flight. So we may crash and burn, but that's okay. That's why we're doing this in the simulator and not real life. So like I was trying to get at before the rain came in, was that small general aviation airplanes just can't really handle freezing conditions that well. And while it may be raining on the ground, once you're in the cloud, now you're at icing conditions. Every 1,000 feet you go up, you lose 2 degrees Celsius. So if we were at 2 degrees Celsius here on the ground, 0, negative, right? And at some point, you're going to go to a point where it's not going to matter because it's all frozen anyway, and it's like throwing ice cubes at you. It's not going to stick to your plane. But there's also a phenomenon where there's supercooled water, where it's below 0 degrees up in the cloud, but once it hits the surface, it instantly turns to ice. So once the ice happens, even though I've got the de-icing material, it just can't keep up. And so the de-icing is actually just this big, large inflatable boot that just kind of blows up and then cracks the ice off and then comes down, and then the propellers are heated. I've got a plug-in in X-Plane that will show up the condition of icing because a lot of planes are not modeled. I only have one where you can look at it and see icing. So this thing kind of pops up as a simulator cheat. Not really a cheat, but making up for what's not available in the simulator, and it'll kind of show you the conditions of icing on the wing. So let's just start going for it, right? 170 knots, slant alpha, meaning radio navigation only, not GPS, and IFR. We're going to Greensboro, Victor 103 to Roanoke, and then our destination airport is Roanoke. It should take us about 40 minutes. Got 3 hours of fuel on board, and our alternate airport is Bristol, Tennessee, which is having much nicer conditions. The rain must be past there. So it's telling me to, since there's no controller online, squawk 1163, and if one ever comes online, it's going to tell me, and that's pretty cool, the auto ATC, which is kind of a new feature. Got the taxi lights on, a pitot heat on, and make some calls. Statesville traffic, this is Twin Piper 5522 Lima at Statesville, taxiing to runway 28, Statesville. So turboprops take a little bit of time between your inputs on the throttle and the actual life there. A little squirrely, but I got it. And V1 and rotates. There we go. Positive rate, gear up. And Statesville traffic, this is Twin Piper 5522 Lima, cleared to the north. Final call, Statesville. Alright, so I'm just kind of coming up here, getting my yaw damper on now. Look at that, we're already broken out of the clouds. Let's go ahead and do nav and autopilot. And the altitude. You can see our ground speed is 231. I said 170, 180, but this little plane can fly, I'll tell you that much. Which was not my initial assessment of the plane. It was that, it does okay. I'm wrong. It flies. We can go ahead and get our prop props down just slightly to 2,000. Make it a little less noisy for our passengers, which are you. But I'm already in here checking what can we do, what procedures are there, what's the weather. So right now the weather is a 010, right? So we can come in on runway 6 seems like the best deal. Do we have a procedure for 6? We do. All right, we're gonna be using this localizer and our DME. Back to the plane. How are we doing? So at 13,000, it's gonna level off, and we are tracking in the VOR just fine. Let's get our heading bug. Oh. Let's get our heading bug switched over here. And yep, we're leveled off at 13,000 here. And you can see we're in the clouds, and you can see by this we have icing. So let's go ahead and go higher. Be able to climb above it in enough time. I think once this indicator shows red, that's when we're at a critical point. So you can see our surface de-ice is on. Now, you also see our speed is going down as we climb here. And right now we're going to be at a critical point. Never want to go below that red line speed, so that's why I've decreased. You can see now the ice is so bad we're actually starting to have performance issues here, but it broke off and now we just have it on our tail section. So we're still at a fairly significant problem here. So we could climb, or we could hope for the best. Our ground speed is doing fine. We're starting to get ice again. I say we climb to 17,000. Now here you can see the outside temperature, right? So we are at negative 10 degrees Celsius. So we should see this drop a little bit more as we climb. You can see our airspeed, we're doing okay. Up top here though, you can see on the indicators we're getting icing. So you can see we're starting to lose altitude here. We're losing engine speed. We are unable to maintain this. And we are eventually just going to go down. Alright, so we're at a critical spot now. We can either descend, which is probably what we should do, and hope for the best, or... But interestingly enough, as we've descended here, we've been able to break off some of the ice on the wings, but not on the tail, so... I know a lot going on at once here, but basically we're flying over that Greensboro VOR, and then over here I'm watching that switch over. We're just above freezing now, so it is now being washed off. We'll keep all the de-icing stuff on, but yeah. Interestingly, losing altitude was the key here. And you can see actually our warning is gone. Our ice is gone. Nice. Alright, so we are going to be able to successfully do this flight after all. We're a little low. No, we're in the glide path here. Roanoke traffic, this is Twin Pepper 5522 Lima on short final for runway 6. Full stop. Roanoke. I'm still happy with everything. I'm happy that we made it. So, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Take care.